borrows from a private central bank the money which is created as debt, and then they are worked to death to pay that interest by way of taxes. And over time, over the passing of generations, the actual real physical wealth in that nation of property, land, minerals, resources is gradually taken control of by the ones who give the loans, until the whole country is literally taken and stripped. And, after some generations, nobody owns anything, and everybody born is therefore born as a slave. Right? And that's what they mean when they say today, you've heard this statement, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's literally what they mean. You will own nothing. Right? Because all of the printing of this money, the trillions and trillions and trillions, you have to pay. That's being printed because you're going to pay for it. Right? And so when the amount of money that's printed and the debt that's created is more than the value of all of the assets in a country, that means you've just been turned into a slave, because nobody has property anymore. Right? It's all owned. It's been snatched by the creditors, the ones who, right? And so this is why usury in the Quran, Allah has declared a war from Allah for people who do not abandon, who let go of the usury. So that's usury, that's alcohol, then there's fornication, then there's many other things, which when you look at the Sharia of Islam, it has come with the truth. It has come with rectification. It has come to make societies prosper. And everything that we see in these societies bears witness to the justice and the truth of the legislation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the only reason you hear all of these people, the only reason you have all this propaganda, inshallah, we'll come to an end. We'll continue this discussion or we'll finish this off in the next lesson. But the only reason, just to finish off on this point, the only reason why you have all of these, this propaganda against Islam and the Sharia is precisely because the people who benefit the most from these things which destroy society, which is usury, and which is alcohol, and which is intoxicants, and gambling, and fornication, and illicit relationships. There are people out there who make billions upon billions upon billions out of these vices, because they know that people have an irada which can be corrupted, and so they make billions and billions. So when Islam, the Sharia of Islam, when it comes and it puts an end to all of these evils, you will find that the greatest enemies and opponents to the call of the messengers are these rich and wealthy elite, right, who have something to lose if people abandon alcohol, abandon fornication, abandon illicit relationships, abandon gambling, abandon all these frivolities which and instead they live a meaningful life based upon the worship of Allah. Right, they stand to lose. And so therefore these are the types of people, and that's why in all the stories of the prophets in the Quran you will see that the mala is like the heads of the people of disbelief. The elites, the powerful rich and the elites of the people of disbelief, they are always the ones who stand against the messengers, reject their message, and then they lie to the people, they tell lies to the people in order to stop them from hearing the message of the prophets, right? As they did with Nuh and with Hud and with Salih. And this is what they do. And so that's exactly what you see today in relation to the Quran, to the final message. You see all of this propaganda and lies against Islam, about women, about this, about that, about the barbaric Sharia. All of this is part and parcel of that propaganda to stop people from accepting the truth, and that in which true rectification lies for them. But anyhow, there's a very interesting treatment here by Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, which we'll finish with, which is basically that the Sharia comes to support and strengthen what is known by fitrah and reason and by practical experience.